Hello everyone and welcome back to Your Basic Nerd, which is still a channel where I document my highly imperfect attempts at nerdy hobbies. And today, as you could maybe tell from the view outside, is a good day to be working indoors. It's smoky and hazy. We're getting a lot of smoke from some forest fires outside of the city. So good day to be working on Simon's coffee. Here's what we've done so far. And today we'll be working on a utensil holder and some storage jars. So let's get into it. Alright, so the first item that we're completing today is the utensil holder, which seems pretty simple. I think it's mostly a cutting step. So the first step is to glue this paper design onto the back of the gold sheet. Then you cut everything, glue it together, and put it into this little pot that is the utensil holder. So let's see how we do with that. So first I need to glue this onto the back of the gold sheet as pictured here, and I'm not sure if we're gonna need the rest of the gold sheet for something else. As you can see, it came with a hole in the kit that I got, so hopefully we don't need too much, but I'm gonna put it in the corner to make sure I don't use it up for this step. Like this. Then the second step is to cut. So let's do that. And it's more of a precision thing, but clearly I'm not going to be able to cut the little holes between the tins of the fork. So we're just going to do what we can and accept that the rest won't be perfect. And I'm just going to do a test to see if I'm able with an X-Acto knife to cut the middle part, which is more delicate, but I'm not gonna do it too hard. This way, if it doesn't work, then we can just abandon that project. I'm not sure it's great. I don't think it makes a huge difference anyway, but it's not too bad. And then the fork. Perfect. And then I'll do the same and see if I can make some clean holes between the tins. But if it doesn't work, I don't want to ruin the whole look, so we are just doing a small test. Oh, it's actually not too bad. Okay, so I think I'll keep on doing that. It's probably gonna look messy at the end anyway because we're gonna glue both sides together. So I'm not sure the holes are gonna line up, but we can still try. Yeah, I think let's leave it like that lest we destroy it more, but not too bad. And then we fold each piece onto itself and glue it. Okay, so these are not looking too bad, all things considered, and then we just need to glue them into the metal bucket. So here's the final product. Just gonna let it dry and hope the utensils stay in place, and moving on to storage jar number 1. Okay, so our utensil holder is now drying, and now we're going to make storage jar number 1, which I think is very simple, only 2 items and 1 step, which is our favorite, glue as shown. So we have this silver body and then a big copper bead that we just have to glue on top. So let's do that. And I'm happy to have an easy step that doesn't require too much focus at this stage because it's very warm inside my house. We're lucky enough not to be directly affected by the forest fires that are going on here, but it is quite smoky today, as I said in the beginning of the video, so we don't want to open the windows, so it's warm, it's sort of humid, the weather is sort of unpleasant, so we're trying to enjoy ourselves as best we can, but we're sort of limited in the activities that we can do. It's supposed to clear up in a couple hours or days, so hopefully it gets better. But yeah, I'm happy to be working on Simon's coffee and doing satisfying steps like this one that are easy and that I'm not messing up. So that was very quick. Storage jar number 1 is now completed. And now I'll move on to storage jar number 2. Right, so we've got our transparent body, our paper cut K41, and then I'm gonna be identifying the wood piece. I've had to bust out the plan. I haven't done that it's in several weeks or months, I think. So we're looking for B20, which is this one, and then I have the corresponding board, and then I'm pretty sure it's this one. So we might need to use a tool to get it out because it's definitely not coming out. So let's see if that works. All right. And because we want to be thorough and precise, I'm even gonna sand down the little edges, although functionally it doesn't change anything. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut K41. Then the rest of the instructions again are very simple. It's just 1 step. And you're supposed, I think, to sort of fold or roll K41 inside of the jar, glue it somehow, and then glue the wood piece as the lid of the jar. So it's not very clear what the thing in the jar is supposed to be. Basically, it's just dots. Looks like a galaxy, actually, more than any type of a coffee-related item. But it's pretty, so I guess it'll do. And let's see how we want to do this. Okay, so the opening at the bottom is quite large. I think I could probably just put little bits of glue on both ends and try not to smear it too much. Then maybe I need the tweezers for this. And then let's try to position it in a way that looks pretty. Switch in for the toothpick. And I think I'm definitely supposed to leave a line at the bottom that would be like the bottom of the jar, which is harder than it sounds. So let's try this again. Okay, so I guess we'll just need to put the pretty part in front and hide the back, but I guess that's what they did in the image as well, so I'm fine with that. And then we just have to add the lid. All right, there we go. So that's 2 storage jars down. And then we're up to storage jar number 3 now. So again, 2 pieces, 1 step, we like that. Okay, so we're just gluing the small gold bead onto the khaki wood, or khaki wood, I don't know as they call it. So let's do this. I really like when the small gold beads are just decorative and don't have a function because they're pretty hard to glue. Like this. Okay, so we're starting to have a nice lineup of jars plus the utensil holder. And then the last one is storage jar number 4, of course, which is just 1 piece plus a paper item. Okay, and this is actually really cute. It's already the correct shape. It has this cork top. My English vocabulary is lacking right now, I guess, but it's very cute. And so I think we just cut this yellow paper, then twist it into a rod, cut it, and then it makes little bits that go into the jar. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be, but I guess it's figurative. So let's see how we do. Okay, so actually reading these instructions correctly, this is a fold and glue, which makes sense because we have the pointy line. And I guess it doesn't have to be glued perfectly because we're just gonna cut it straight afterwards. So I think that's good enough. Then we twist it into a rod and then cut the rod into pieces on a piece of paper. Well, that's already what I have, so that's great. Oops, they're flying already. They seem to be making them pretty small. And they're all flying off way beyond my piece of paper, but I'm gonna pick them up afterwards. Okay. Well, I guess they just barely fit into the thing, but there we are, and I'm putting on, I still don't know what that's called, the top. And there we go. And here are our final pieces for this week. They look pretty good, if I may say so myself. Much better than last week anyway. I don't have a ton of merit because the steps were pretty simple. They were all ready-made items that you just had to add a bit of glue to. But I'm gonna take this success when it happens because it's definitely not always like that. And yeah, I think the look is interesting. I do wonder what you would be storing in some of those storage jars, especially the first 2 at the front, which don't look like they belong all that much in a coffee shop. But maybe the creator of Simon's Coffee had an idea for that in mind. I guess we'll find out maybe at the end when we assemble the whole thing. But overall, a pretty fun step. And as I've been announcing for 2 weeks now, next week we'll definitely be starting with plants. So bonsais. And again, I think we'll be working with different materials. So I'm excited to see how that goes. But until then, thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video and see you in the next one. Bye!